Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary with the Get Some podcast. And my guest this week is...
This motherfucker Gary.
Hey, this podcast is brought to you by HelloFresh. Listen, if you want free breakfast for life, go to HelloFresh.com/free get some. One free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life just by going to HelloFresh.com/free get some. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Gary Owen with the Get Some podcast. We'll start with my schedule. Currently, I'm in Hawaii. I don't want to make you guys jealous, but that's where I'm at. Now, I'm leaving here, flying directly to Greensboro, North Carolina. So I'm in Greensboro this weekend at the Comedy Zone. And then next weekend, September 20th to the 23rd, I'm in Richmond, Virginia at the Funny Bone in Short Pump, which I always make fun of because it's the Funny Bone in Short Pump right behind Dick's. So I don't know what's going on in Richmond, but there's some freaks. Isn't that where Chris Brown's from? Anyways, then the week after that, I'm staying in Virginia. I'm in Virginia Beach, September 20. Anyways, last week of September, I'm in Virginia Beach. My mind's gone. I'm sorry, I'm on vacation still. And then first weekend in October, I'm in Dayton, Ohio at the Funny Bone. And then October 11th and 12th, I'm in San Francisco at Cobb's. And then October 13th, I'm in Morgantown, West Virginia at the Marriott Event Center. So that's enough. So just figure it out. I'm in Virginia, I'm in Ohio, I'm in California, I'm all over the place. So right now I'm still in Hawaii. Thank you to everyone that came out to the Blue Note at Honolulu. And then for the first time ever, I was in Kona last Monday. So that was interesting, to say the least. I never been to Kona. A guy DM'd me, a promoter out here, said, you want to come? And sold it out. And we just had a great time. So thanks everyone to Kona. But since I've been in Kona, I've been staying, excuse me, that was disgusting. I've been staying at this, it's not even a resort. It's like a compound called Koaniki. I could be mispronouncing it, I don't know. So I'm going to spell it for you guys. Kohanaki. Koaniki. It's nothing but like multi-millionaire billionaires that stay in this compound. If COVID ever happens again, this is where you want to stay. I'll put it like that. The houses, I don't think there's anything under $5 million, which in Hawaii isn't nuts. And now $5 million in let me think, in Mississippi, you pretty much bought Mississippi, the whole state. But in Hawaii, you get a 3,500 square foot home. So, this place is nuts because you buy a house, right? And then you have to pay like, not HOA, it's almost like, I don't know if it's HOA's fees or it's not a resort fee, it's a compound fee, we'll call it. But they got these golf stations. And I got a video, we're gonna post it on here. They got these golf stations. You know, normally when you're on a golf course, they might have an alcohol cart. Something comes by, refresh your palate a little bit. It's pretty limited. Beer, wine, soda, things like that. Maybe a hot dog. Nah, not out here in Kohanaki. These golf stations, these refreshing, I think there's like 3 of them on the golf course. They got frozen grapes, ice cream bars, alcohol, every alcohol you want, by the way. There's a full bar. Fruit, every protein bar, every granola bar, ice cream sandwiches, soft serve ice cream, Dole Whip, because we're in Hawaii. Pretty much every snack you want, they have, and I'm sure if you're a member, if they don't have it, and you're like, I really want this, they'll find it for you. So that's ridiculous. And then on the resort, like I said, I'm gonna show videos of this as I'm talking. They got a bowling alley with every arcade game, every video game you want, a full movie theater with every snack you want for movie theaters: hot dogs, popcorn, Raisinets, Thin Mints, Butterfinger, slushy machine, soda, liquor, you name it, they got it. It's like a half movie theater. The seats like 30 people. Not to mention the golf course is amazing. The views are amazing. The house is amazing that I'm staying in this week. This is it. This is the living room. So I'm having a ball. But there's not a lot to do at night. So they don't have strip clubs. They don't have nightclubs. Everyone's in bed by 9, but you're waking up at like 5:36. So then you just get in the water. We were gonna actually go snorkeling today, but we saw a fin come up. It's one thing about Hawaii. There are some sharks. So I did get in the ocean the first day, but I didn't get in since. We literally woke up this morning, saw a shark's fin. I was like, so we didn't get in. So yeah, so look it up. Look it up. You know what? Hold on. Watch it. Look at this thing right here. So I toured a $24.5 million home. And now, if you ever wonder what a $24.5 million home in Hawaii looks like, that's what it looks like right there. That's the kitchen that's wide open. Now look at this. I feel like I'm in second grade reading a book, like to the class. Look at that. Shut up. Get out of my face. Look at that. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. That's the layout. If you don't get out of my face right now, get out. Shut up. Shut up. Crazy part about the house, that's the backyard. The layout, if you can see the layout, right? Look at that. All the rooms are outside. You got the two masters, they're inside, that connect with the kitchen, but it's like it's like a big U almost. And all the bedrooms outside the two masters, you have to walk outside in a little courtyard to get to the kitchen and stuff. It's literally like a resort. They could open up a mini resort, and that's what it is. Just the layout of it is so unique and breathtaking. It's like I ain't never seen nothing like it. So it was kind of dope. And what's funny, like I'm in Hawaii. I'm at this amazing compound, Koaniki, and so much stuff is going on in the States, but it doesn't affect you here. Literally my manager or my agent called and we were going over dates and I just stopped them. I said, email me. I'll respond to the email, but my brain isn't really listening. I don't want to listen to you guys right now. I don't want to talk to you because I'm just like chilling. And like everything's like so immediate. I got an email from my lawyer. I need you to reach me. I said, next week. Everything can wait. Everything can wait. I don't want to come here with the stress of my day-to-day life. So the debate happened. I was watching it, like, didn't really affect me. Either way. I did watch a little bit of the debate. I'll touch on a little bit what I saw. Some of the questions are so stupid, and we know the answer, and we know what the answer is going to be. And I thought the one was, and maybe, I don't know, maybe because it felt like a dead issue to me. At one point, the moderator was like, Donald, you have questioned her nationality. You've questioned Vice President Harris, whether she's a black woman or not. You've said in the past, and and I'm going, what does this have to do with the issues? I'm like, this is a dead issue. We know what Trump's answer is going to be, and it was exactly what I thought. And we knew what Vice President Harris, how she was going to respond. I go, there was nothing groundbreaking. It was a complete waste of 5 to 10 minutes of the debate. And I was like, and that's what's funny was we was out swimming. We came back, and when we turned on TV, within the first 5 minutes, that was one of the questions I heard. And I went, oh, this is what we're doing for the debate? If I'm going to debate, I want issues and things that you're going to change. I'm like, we knew what the answer was going to be. It was complete waste. It was very, it was to trigger people. It was to get people going. And it didn't change anybody's mind. The thing about that whole debate, I was like, that was the biggest waste of time because nobody watched that and they changed their mind on who they're going to vote for. I just thought it was, I don't know. Maybe one person changed their mind, but that's about it. But pretty much, I don't know, it's just, debates they're odd to me. It's just a big argument. It's almost like people playing cards and everybody thinks they got the best hand. And we're just trying to call their bluff or whatever. It's just, I don't really get into debates like that. Now, I did see, what else I see? I'll tell you what, ever since I did Club Shay Shay, it's become a ingrained part in the culture, so to speak. So Marlon was on last week, Marlon Wayans, and I'll just say, like, he had the issue with DJ Vlad, and I'm cool with Marlon, and I'm cool with DJ Vlad, and Vlad said Marlon said he wanted $40,000 to do an interview, and Vlad said, nah, I'm not paying that. And then it got ugly. Marlon and Vlad did a back and forth, and Vlad was like, Marlon doesn't do numbers like that. And one, I don't like it when the personal discussions become public, and I'm cool with Vlad, but I think he admitted it. He was completely wrong in this situation. You could ask for whatever you want. If you ask, you have to be prepared to be told no and to be prepared to walk away. I've been asked to do stuff. I've asked for things, and I walked away. I talked about the Steve Harvey thing a few months ago. The show didn't want to pay me what I wanted, and I walked away. No love lost. I didn't ever say a bad word about Steve. It wasn't like, how dare you? It was like, if you're not going to pay me, I got to go. And that's what it is. So if Marlon wants to ask for $40,000, you can say no. And he didn't get the interview. But the Club Shay Shay interview, Marlon's getting a lot of views now. So now Marlon got the big F you to Vlad, like, oh, you don't think I'll draw numbers? It's weird how the universe works. It's like as soon as Vlad said that, Marlon was on Shay Shay the next week. I was like, so now it's like Ari said, does the juice match the squeeze? Or is it the squeeze match the juice? I don't know. But, so now Marlon can say, see, I do numbers. But that was a perfect platform for me. And if you haven't seen it, it's pretty interesting. As a guy that's worked with the Wayans brothers on Little Man, I saw firsthand how close the family is. I saw how every day we got to set, Sean, Keenan, and Marlon, they hugged and they gave each other a kiss, and it was just family. But I'll never forget, I was talking to Sean one day on the set of Little Man, and he said something that registered with me. And we was talking about haters, people saying you guys only work together on stuff, how you only put the thing is like they only put each other on, their family on. And then Sean just said something. I was like, oh, it made so much sense. He goes, when people come at him and say, the only thing you do is work with the Wayans. If it ain't Keenan or Marlon or Damon, like Sean, you wouldn't even work. And Sean was like, so what would you rather me do? Work with you? I was like, that makes so much sense. He goes, why wouldn't I just work with my family? I love them. We have a good time. I know they got my back, and they're going to give me honest feedback and criticism on something I write, something I say, or if the scene's not right, they're not going to sugarcoat nothing because they know at the end of the day they love each other so much. So I was just like, I never thought of it like that, and I'm probably wording it wrong, but I just remember when Sean said, why would I not work with my family? So I can work with you? I was like, duh. But as a guy that's seen how the Wayans work when they're together, it's impressive. And it's almost like how you would hope most families would be in the business. And like Keenan's the godfather of all this. But none of this happens without Keenan making that move. And I never knew, watch the interview with Marlon, but he's got some funny stories about Eddie Murphy just being in the living room when he was getting ready to shoot Raw or Delirious, and just probably Raw, and just Marlon and all the brothers just bagging on Eddie. And Marlon said, to Eddie's credit, he just let them, he let him go. He just let, he didn't try to, obviously Eddie could have crushed him if he wanted to, but Eddie just laughed, and it was kids. So he kept it going. And then Marlon said he had originally had the part in Nutty Professor. It wasn't Dave Chappelle. And then Keenan told him, like, you can do a movie for Eddie or you can do your own movie. And that's what they did. Don't Be a Menace to Society while drinking your juice in the hood, which is a hood classic. So, and then Marlon said how the universe works and God works is years later he got to do Norbit. And that's when he got to be the trainer, dude. So, yeah, it's weird how this business works. There's so many stories where somebody passed on a role to do another role that ended up being a bigger role. Like, the rumor was, like, Will Smith passed on The Matrix. There was, who else? I think they wanted Tom Selleck instead of Harrison Ford for Indiana Jones. You think of, like, some of the people that could have been cast in something that didn't do it. You're like, recently I saw the Tyrese audition for Django. That my face says it all. So, and I've given some bad auditions. So I'm not hating. I'm just saying that was brutal. Because Tyrese so LA, so the Southern accent, he wasn't pulling it off. I'll just put it like that. I was thinking, like, with some other roles that could have went, I've always heard got offered to somebody else and was like, let me think. Oh man, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. There's just so many parts in this business that somebody could have got, but they passed and it went to somebody else. So, yeah. But if you get a chance, watch that Club Shay Shay interview with Marlon. It's pretty good. It's a lot of pulling back the curtain, and people think Marlon was just given his career because of Keenan, but you see all the work that he's put in. And like, I've seen it firsthand. I've worked with those guys. Like, even when we did Little Man, we all flew to Vancouver and we sat down before we started shooting. We read the script and Keenan just started asking people their input. You think this would be funny? What do you think of this? And I saw it firsthand how the process works with those guys. But it was cool. Yeah, and I got a lot of love for them. They put me in a movie when the phone wasn't ringing, and I had to audition, and I got the part. And so, when people work with you like that, you got two ways to go. You can either be like, well, haven't they hired me since? What's up? Or, thank you. That was a lot. I appreciate it. And at that point in my career, that was huge for me, Little Man. So that was dope. And just to be able to say I worked with him. Like Marlon said, when he did Norbit, he got to work with Eddie Murphy. He goes, I got to work with one of my legends. And he got to make him laugh. And I was like, I felt the same way when I did Daddy Daycare. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like this close to Eddie Murphy. I was like, and he knew who I was. So that was dope. So I'm going to get into my Bengals for a second. I'm completely heartbroken, disappointed in our performance. I say "our" because I am part of the team. It's weird. There's some games that I just be watching, and the week of, I go, "There's no way we can lose. There's just no way." And how did we lose that game? I was like, I don't care if we had T or Jamar, we still should be good. But like Dan Orlovsky said on ESPN, he was like, there was nothing physical about the team, and it just was a bunch of dink and dunks. They never went deep. And I don't know why we do this every season. We start so slow. We got to listen to all the pundits and experts say we're falling apart. And what I know is Joe Burrow refuses to be average. He refuses to let the team just fall by the wayside. So I'm just going to believe in Joe. And Joe, you got them things. In Jesus we trust. I got in Joe we trust. I just believe in that dude so much. And the thing is, like, with the NFL, since nobody's playing the preseason, the defense has always got a leg up the first couple weeks. And then you kind of figure out, and the chemistry starts to build. So you got to realize, didn't have T, built no real chemistry with Jamar in the preseason because Jamar didn't play. So in essence, this was like the first week of training camp. So we'll see. We got Kansas City this week. Everyone's going to be picking Kansas City, but in the NFL, this is when you don't know and you think you know. The only other game outside this New England game that I said, I just can't see us losing. There's been two. There was the Baltimore Ravens playoff game where Sam Hubbard ran that 90-yard fumble return because they didn't have Lamar Jackson. I was like, we can't lose to them. And we almost lost. And then like 10 years ago, Bengals lost to San Diego Chargers, which is now LA Chargers. First round of the playoffs at home. Bengals were 8-0 at home, undefeated in the division, which isn't easy. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland. They were annihilating people at home. And I was like, I could not see a scenario where the Chargers would beat us. And it was the same format that New England beat us. The Chargers just started running the ball with some running back I've never heard of and just controlled the clock. And every time we get within a touchdown, they go back up by 2 scores. And it was just, we never got the lead. And I'll never forget, they had mic'd up Michael Johnson, the old defensive end with the Bengals. And I remember he just was looking at the scoreboard with like 2 minutes left. He goes, man, we've been undefeated all season at home. We don't lose at home. And I was like, I felt the same way. And so there's been 3 games in my life that I just said, I can't see how we're going to lose this game. And we've lost 2 of them. And 1 we almost lost. But then there's the games I was like, it's going to be tough to win this one. Kansas City, every time we played them since Mahomes, and we're 3-1 with Burrow. Now, last year, I don't count the one without Burrow, but the ones with Burrow, every time we played Kansas City, I was always like, I don't know, it's going to be tough. There was a Monday night game against Denver when Denver had Peyton Manning that got us in the playoffs, where Drake Kirkpatrick ran that interception back for a touchdown, and Peyton Manning drove the ball down. Denver scored a touchdown. I said, here we go. And then Jeremy Hill, this was his rookie year, he ran it like 80 yards, and the stadium just erupted. And then the rain came down, and it was a wrap. And I was like, and we won. That got us into the playoffs that year, even though we lost. But that Denver game, I was like, it's going to be tough. I'm never going to say I don't think we're going to win, but I'm always like, it's going to be tough. So now this week, going to Kansas City, just lost New England. And New England's going to end up being like 5-12 this year. We all know it. A lot of people are just going to be, but this is the game Joe Burrow's like, all right. And here's how it plays out with the Bengals. We did all the ding and dunks last week, right? They're going to, at some point against Kansas City, most likely in the first half, they're going to drop a bomb. And if Jamar or T catches that bomb, it's going to be on. I'll put it like that. I don't know. Everybody's talking about, we just dinked and dunked. We didn't go deep. We didn't do this. Burrow's going to let it fly against Kansas City one time in that first half. And if we catch that ball, watch out. So just remember that part of this podcast. So disappointing, though. I mean, that was the only bad part of my week. The game came on at 7 a.m. in Hawaii. Woke up early. Woke up at I couldn't even sleep. I didn't go to bed till 3 o'clock, and I woke up at 6, wide awake. And then to watch the game, that's one thing about Hawaii. All the games are over at 1 o'clock. And then you got your day going. Then you got the one late game. But at that point, if it ain't your squad, you're either in mourning or you're ecstatic. So that's about it. So the other big issue of the week, last thing I want to talk about is Tyreek Hill getting pulled over by the cops on the way to the game. So as an ex-police officer, I refrain from commenting on these things until I see the whole video. Because we only saw Tyreek getting handcuffed. So once I saw the whole video, this is what people with common sense that can really step back and be objective and not just jump to conclusions, not to say I'm on somebody's side or this was going to happen when I give my comments here on this. There's going to be people like, oh, Gary, you're showing your true colors now. Your cookout invite is about to be revoked. No, but let's just really think about it. And I watched Stephen A. Smith talk about it. I agree with what he said. Were the cops too aggressive? Yes. As a police officer, our job is to de-escalate, decompress the situation. If somebody's wilding up, we got to bring them down. We got to tell them relax. So when the cops pulled Tyreek over for speeding, Tyreek was completely in the wrong how he started talking to the cops. He first said, "Don't pound on my window. Don't pound on my window like that," right off the bat. And then he rolled up his window, and then you're challenging the officer's authority. We got to realize, and I always try to keep this in the back of my mind. One thing I did learn, and I was a cop in the Navy Police Academy, was every situation is different. You got to handle every individual different, and people are going to have bad days on both sides of it. The guy getting pulled over and the cop pulling him over. You don't know what kind of day they're having. So every time I've been pulled over, and I know I'm a white dude and everything, I've been pulled over by black cops, white cops, Latino cops. Never been pulled over by an Asian cop yet. But I always try to kind of be lighthearted, give them a smile. Sometimes I've been stressed, and sometimes you just got to tell them, So I think if Tyreek wouldn't have just immediately went on the attack with the officers, it wouldn't have escalated as fast as it did. Once he challenged their authority, that's when they clicked out, they snapped, and the one cop was just out of control when he said, roll down your window. And you got to realize, the cops don't know if somebody's got a gun in the car or anything. We've seen those videos all the time where the guy gets out and just starts blasting the cop. So they're on edge. But the one cop, when he dragged Tyreek out, I go, you can't tell somebody get out the car and don't give him a chance to get out the car. Literally, he said, get out the car. And Tyreek was like, getting out the car. And then that's when the cop just went left, and that's when everything exploded and everything went wrong. So Tyreek was wrong in how he initially addressed the police officer. That male ego, everything else kicks in. The cops, and when one cop's going, the other cop gets going. And then another cop gets going. Just like if one cop comes in calm, the other cop will come in calm. And it just got escalated fast. And look, and a couple of Tyreek's teammates came over. The way they talked to Calais Campbell, who anybody that knows Calais Campbell, and that's been my boy for 10 plus years, one of the nicest guys on the planet, one of the most law-abiding citizens on the planet. He is just a salt of the earth, good human being, whole family's cool, one of the best guys you ever want to meet, and they snapped on Calais? I'm like, all right, slow down, bro, slow down. Look at Tyreek's past, and that's what people are going to go to and be like, well, look, he shouldn't have been speeding. He's already got these domestic allegations against him, blah, blah, blah. Show me one thing on Calais Campbell. One thing on Calais Campbell where he was out of control, went at the cops, got in trouble, had a domestic dispute. That guy is, if you have a son, you want him to be like Calais Campbell. So when they went off on Calais, I go, oh, they wilding right now. They wilding. So I just think when you look at the full video, it all started completely wrong. And I'm not justifying how aggressive the cops were. But to say that Tyreek handled it perfectly also, you're just not watching the video with an open mind. You just want the cops to be assholes, which they were in this situation. But just to start it off, and this is my thing too with people, police officers getting pulled over, and in life in general, everybody's not the same. We got to stop saying you're going to treat everybody the same. No, you ain't. No, if I'm a police officer, I pulled Tyreek Hill over on the way to the game because he was speeding. If he comes at me correct, I'm just letting him ride. Oh man, you're running late. Let's get to the game. Have a good game. It's no different than somebody's pull somebody over and they're speeding, and my wife's in labor. I'm trying to get to the hospital. I hope he's not lying, but all right, just slow down. All right, get back in traffic. Or, I got a relative on their last rites. I'm just trying to get to the hospital to say my goodbyes. I get it. There's certain situations that anybody would speed. Well, we got to stop acting like we're perfect. But at the same time, when the cop comes and knocks on the window, even if the cop didn't knock on his window that hard, but Tyreek goes, don't knock on the window that hard. I was just like, right off the bat. And then he wouldn't roll down the window. And then the biggest thing was he was challenging their authority. That's something you cannot do, because at the end of the day, Tyreek's objective was to get to the stadium and play in the game. So anything that's going to stop you from doing that, just don't do it. And it's not worth it. It's not worth it. As soon as the cop pulled him over, I'm running late. I got to get to the stadium. I understand you have a job to do, officer, but if you're going to give me a ticket, can you just give it to me? I really got to get going. My bad on the speeding part. You know? And that's it. Keep moving. Even if look, we've all dealt with asshole cops. I've dealt with them too. The worst part is getting pulled over and being polite and then still getting the ticket. You're like, I'd be like, well, I should have just been an asshole to him. But you cannot challenge their authority. It's just not gonna bode well for you in the moment. You might win in the long run, but it's still a headache. You still gotta, now you're doing all these PR. Instead of talking about the game, you're talking about getting pulled over and demanding for the cops to be suspended and things like that. And it's just energy you don't need, where you could just be focused on football at this point of your life. So, like I said, I just think if you look at it objectively, Tyreek escalated the situation, and then as soon as that one cop, it took that. The one cop was actually kind of patient at first when he was tapping the window. Hey, you got to roll the window down. Got to roll the window down. Got to roll the window down. And then when that one cop came in, I was like, enough of this. Get out. Get out the car. And then they pulled him out. You cannot give somebody a command and not give him a chance to do it. He just dragged him out of the car. He was like, he wasn't fighting. He wasn't saying, I'm not getting out of the car. He literally was like, all right, I'm just moving slower. You know, the best is Tyreek. I had knee surgery. I was like, bro, you bald. I want that knee surgery that you had. If that's what knee surgery is going to make you play like, I want that knee surgery.
Hey, this podcast is brought to you by HelloFresh. Now listen, I'm a comedian. I'm on the road every week. I'm always looking for fast, easy, quick meals. When I gotta get home and I just got off the plane, I'm looking for something to eat. I don't want to go out to eat. I want something at the house. HelloFresh. Now my favorite, the Mushu pork bowl. Come on now. It's got some flavor to it. Ain't nothing worse than a bland meal. You ain't got to worry about that with HelloFresh. The meals got some flavor to them. Trust they got some flavor. And they're easy. Most meals, you're done in less than 15, 20 minutes. And that's with prep time. So yeah, if you're looking for a quick, easy, flavorful meal, go to HelloFresh.com. Now listen, we got a special here. So if you want free breakfast for life, go to HelloFresh.com/free. Get some. One free breakfast item per box while your subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life. All you gotta do is go to HelloFresh.com/free. Get some. And get that free breakfast. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit.
You know, there was if you ever see a video, there was a cop in Arizona that there was a guy at a hotel, I think it was in Tucson, and somebody said they saw a gun in the window. And what it was like a carpet cleaning service or something. And it looked like a gun because it had the spout coming out. And it's so disturbing. A cop comes in, guns out, tells everybody get on the floor. There's a girl with them. The girl they get her out safe, not safe, but there wasn't no danger. The danger was a cop. And he kept telling the guy all these commands, but he's yelling at him, and he keeps warning him like, I will shoot you. I will shoot you. And he never gives the guy really a fighting chance. Like, the cop just wanted to execute the dude, and he ended up doing it. And this is a white cop to a white dude. So this wasn't a racial thing. And it was so disturbing, so out of control. And you could hear the fear in the guy's voice. And he ended up dying. And he did everything the officer told him to. And if I was that dude, I wouldn't have moved. I would have just kept my hands out and be like, I am scared. I can't do your commands because I'm about to piss my pants because you're worrying me. It's out of all the videos I've ever seen, that was the most disturbing one. Just because you could hear the fear in the guy's voice. He did not want to die. He wasn't a criminal. He was doing nothing wrong. It was a mistake that somebody called in, said they saw a gun in the hotel window. And in that instance, when I watched that video, I was the guy on the floor. I was like, I know exactly what he's going through. Like when you can't get the command right. And the dude ended up shooting him because he's telling him to crawl on the carpet and come towards him, but he's got his arms out like this straight ahead. And it was hard. And he literally, his shorts was falling down and he reached down to pull his shorts because he had basketball shorts on. And the cop shot him because he reached down. You knew he wasn't reaching for a gun. You knew it. I was just like, that was disturbing. And so, like I said, when then the cop pulls you over or anything like that, our job is to de-escalate. So as soon as the cop said, that's it, get out the car and drag them out, everything went to shit. And when you are going off on Calais Campbell, yeah, you got the problem. Because there ain't nobody ever had an issue with Calais Campbell. So just to recap, because people will take a segment of this and piece it together and be like, you know, it's like being a black man in America. Yeah, I know that. I know that already. But to anybody that gets pulled over, and I feel like we all know this, let's disregard this is what the law says. We all got common sense. Deep down, we all know what should and shouldn't be done. When the cops come to your window, don't challenge the authority immediately, because you don't know what kind of day the cops had. What if the cop just found out his wife's cheating on him? That day, he got to go to work. Now, he's already pissed. He's already he's already looking to take out his aggression on somebody. Everybody when you get pulled over, no matter what, when that cop hits the window, at least start the conversation with, what I do, my bad, I was speeding, I got to get to the game, I'm running late. Officer, if you're going to give me a ticket, just please give it to me so I can get the game. I don't want to be late. I can afford a $150 ticket over a $10,000 fine for being late to the game. So, and then you're on the way to the game. I'm sure that the cops would have probably escorted him to the game. And stop acting like everybody's the same. Because everybody's like, if that wasn't Tyreek Hill, how would that have turned out? Yeah, it would have turned out completely different. But the fact that that was Tyreek Hill, the cop should have acted different too. Like, oh shit, you trying to get to the game? All right, Tyreek, relax, man. Relax. I'm not going to break your window. I'm not trying to break your window. You were speeding, and I'm just letting you got to slow down. All right? Everybody that could have been handled so different just by the initial interaction. That initial interaction, then the cop came in, boom. Everything went to shit after that. So, yeah. So that was my 2 cents on the situation. So listen, this weekend I am in Greensboro, North Carolina. Next week I am in Richmond, Virginia. And the week after that I'm in Virginia Beach. And then for the first time ever, October 13th, I am in Morgantown, West Virginia. October 11th and 12th, I'm in San Francisco. But I'm going to enjoy my last day in Hawaii, as you can see. And I'll talk to you guys next week. This is Gary Owen with the Get Some Podcast.